Hello world, Stephen Michael Zach here, and today we're going head to head on the Amaran 200X series. Now, in this corner, I have the original Amaran X. Now, have been a previous owner of this light. I did sell it because it was not my favorite. You can see the original review right there. And in this corner, we have the Amaran X 200X S. This is the brand new one that just came out. We're going to take a look at how these are different, how they're similar, and by the end of this episode, we will crown a champion. So, let's go down to the ring and let the fight begin. So they do have this lovely new design on the handle here. Originally, it was just kind of flat, but let's go ahead and pull this open. And again, opens quite nicely. And again, immediately you get your stickers and your Citus link, blah, blah, blah. Foam, again, there is no case. And let's go ahead and lift this out. Now this does feel actually a little bit heavier than the other 200. It feels like they definitely put more, a bigger heat sink in here. You're gonna get a nice piece of foam, and it does fit back together like so. So it does fit nicely. And you do get, again, this molded stuff, and it doesn't feel as cheap as the original. And you, of course, are going to get the exact same power pack as before. They did not make it smaller. And a power cord, which actually feels a little bit smaller than the other one. We'll take a look at the original, but this feels a little bit shorter than the original. And that is it. Okay, let's take a look at the inside here of the original here, and again you get the same documentation, and yeah, the cord's about the same. You do get oddly enough, these weird replacement knobs are in here. I'm not sure what that's about, but there are replacement knobs for some reason. And let's go ahead and lift this out, and feels about the same. It looks like there is a much bigger heat sink in the other one. I mean, it's about the same weight, might be a little bit lighter. And again, it does ship with the same foam. Now, from what I remember, mine had a big piece of black foam. I don't think it shipped with this, so that must be something new they're doing with the packaging. Again, not really sure why they included the extra 2 buttons here. In case they come off, not really sure. That's a little bit of a mystery to me, because I didn't hear about any problems. And again, it is the same power pack. So there you go, there you have it. Okay, so let's take a look at these, and they are exactly the same body. There is nothing new. Now the 200X did come with spare knobs for some reason, whereas this one did not. That's a little strange to me. You still have the same, although this feels a lot better. So it looks like they have done, it looks like Aputure has done something different with this. Now, if you remember the original, there wasn't any metal inside, it was just plastic. It looks like they have completely replaced the yoke on not only the 200X, but also the S model, which is fantastic. I had one of the originals, and I remember this was very clicky. I now can feel that they put in a disc system in the old 200s, which is fantastic. So it does feel like they really did do some upgrading to the original 200, and they did put in some metal here so that this would not crack. Well, this is exactly the same. It is the same body, same size. It doesn't look like they did anything. This looks like it might be a slightly bigger body, maybe. Yes, it looks like this body is about the same. So it's the same body. You're not getting anything different. Let's go ahead and weigh these and see if there is a weight difference. Okay, so let's go ahead and weigh the original 200S here. And we're getting about 3 pounds and 106 ounces. Let's go ahead and weigh the 200S here. And we're getting roughly about the same, maybe an ounce or two heavier, but roughly the same. Okay, now I have all the lights off, so I'm just getting light from here. And let's take a listen to the fan on the S. And this is from about 5 feet away. And here is the original. And again, from 5 feet away. So I will say the fan in these are pretty much exactly the same. Now, I remember the original fan of the 200X, and obviously they have made some improvements in this one, in the original, making the fan quieter and giving it a better yoke. So there have been some updates that they have stuck in the box. Again, go check out my initial review to see the very original version, but this pretty much seems to be exactly the same. Now, let's go stick these on the wall and let's check out the power. There's your wattage for the Amaran 200X, and there is your voltage. Okay, so here's the beam at 3 meters away, and as you can see, the ends are very clean. There's some nice fall off there. And here we are with the dish, and there is a hot spot. As you can see right there, there is a fairly large hot spot, and there is a pretty nice fall off there. It's not too bad. Again, you are getting a little bit of, are you? You're getting a little bit of an edge there. Okay, so here we are at 1 meter away, and as you can see, there is a little bit of multiple shadows when you get to the end. Again, that only appears the closer you get to the wall. There is a little bit of a ring happening there on either side, but it still looks nice. It still has some very decent fall off. And here it is with the dish on, and as you can see, we are getting some ringing around the edge, but again, you're 1 meter away. You're getting a little bit of a ring around there. But again, the further away you get, the less that is. And here is your wattage on the Amaran 200XS, your volts. Okay, here's the 200SX, and there is how the beam looks on the edges with no dish. And here's how it cuts at 3 meters with the dish on. And here we are at 1 meter away with the dish off. And we are starting to see a little bit of ringing around the edges. But of course, again, you are very close here. But it still isn't bad at 1 meter. And with the dish on, we are now at 1 meter getting a little bit of a multiple ring there. But again, the further away you get, the less that is noticeable. And yes, you do have a hotspot on with the dish, no matter what distance you are. So now these lights still do not come with a case. So if you're planning on traveling with these, I would suggest replacing this handle. You can buy them off Amazon, and they do now sell cases, which I will leave in the notes below, for these lights specifically, for the 200X and the 100X. So you can actually get a case, and I believe they're like $15, which is super, super cheap. They're soft cases with like foam inside, which should protect these no problem. So yes, you can get cases. So I would definitely get cases if you're going to travel with these. And I would probably most likely just replace this with something a little bit more hard plastic. But all in all, the build qualities are pretty good. Okay, so where do I fall on these two? Well, I am going to call this one an absolute draw, and here is why. Now, if you remember my review right there, I've pointed to it a couple times during this video, I had the pre-order 200X and I absolutely hated it. It had a loud fan, they did a fan fix, it was still bad. Now it seems like they have fixed the fan in both of these. You could still hear them, but they are not terrible at all. Now, I'm going to call this original 200X Mark II, version 2, because they did listen to their consumers and they did fix what was wrong with the original. Now we get this very nice disc system yoke. Before it was one of those ones that just clicked into place and you could never quite get it where you wanted it. Or mine was clicky, I forget which. I'll have to review that review myself. But they've also put in this little metal piece so that the yoke will not crack, which is fantastic. So they did fix the yoke on the originals at some point. Again, I really wish I had my original, but I did sell it. That's how much I didn't like the original. So this, I'm going to call this version 2. And this seems fine to me. If you already own one of the version 2s, if you already own a 200X, there's really not a lot of reason to upgrade to the 200XS. There's really not. It's Amaran, it's aputure. You're still getting fantastic color. You're still getting what they offer. It still is a very nice light. And I do believe, I'll put the price on at the bottom of the screen here of each of them, of each of these. I do believe that this is like maybe $40 less at the time of the recording of this video. Now, if Adorama or B&H has a super sale and these go for a great price, like below 250 bucks, I would definitely recommend stocking up on some of these old ones that they're trying to get rid of. They're still very usable. They're still rock solid. So that would be my suggestion. If you have some of these or you're looking to save a little money and get a whole bunch, you can't go wrong with the original. Now, if you have never bought one of these, if you want to get into one of these, I would strongly recommend the 200XS. You get a little bit more bang power-wise. You're going to get a little bit better color science. It's not a major difference, but it is a fair amount. It's a pretty nice upgrade. Not super, super crazy. They didn't give us 1% increments. They didn't give us DMX control. It's pretty much the same light. The fan is the same. The yoke is the same. Everything about the body is the same. But it does have a little bit more color accuracy. And with the way that cameras are growing and the way that we edit and light scenes, it's always nice to have the latest technology on hand. But with that said, definitely, if you have one of these, the version 2s, what I'm calling the version 2s, you don't need to upgrade. There's really zero reason to upgrade. If you do not have one of these, spend the extra $40 and definitely buy one of the 200XSs. Again, it's just having the latest, the latest technology, something that's a little bit more up to date. But all in all, these, you cannot go wrong with either of these. So that's it. I'm going to call this one a draw. Those are my thoughts, but I want to know yours. So leave your questions and comments in the notes below. Also, don't forget to like, share, and subscribe, and don't forget to mash that bell button to be notified when we drop a brand new video. And feel free to use the links below as it helps out the channel. I'm Stephen Michael Zach, and I'll see you next time inside the ring.